Welcome to Chaotically Nerdy. It's a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults for adults and children with bad parents. Adult language will be used and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. This episode, we're going to talk about Harry Potter.
The boy who lived.
He has come to die. You want to take that one home, Ethan?
No.
I feel like you don't enjoy these movies as much as we do.
I enjoyed them thoroughly.
I
Yeah.
think it's a time thing.
He's literally 3
I know
years
he's the exact same age
As Harry Potter was
old. Oh, are you?
Yes.
whenever the books came out. Every time the book came out, I was the same age as Harry Potter.
Yeah. We were just a few behind, but with the movies, we were not pretty close. Like 3 years, basically.
No, he was the same age in the movies.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
I was both. Because
not
they
the-
Well, they
not the
casted them to
they casted him up.
the actors' ages.
Yeah.
The characters that they were playing were not the same age as the actors.
That makes
Yeah,
It-
the characters they
I
were
was like that.
Yeah.
With the movies, they lined up with me and you for their age that they played.
Yes. And close.
It's close enough that we were.
I was just upset I didn't get a letter.
Yeah. I think everybody was.
Yeah, I mean I feel like a wizard.
Okay,
I
let's-
waited at the door. or
Let's
at the
start
window.
this off right. Have you done Pottermore?
I have.
Okay, I figure everybody
Well,
has.
no. Here's the real
When
question.
Pottermore came out, I'm like a
Have you
Pottermore
done the
hipster.
Super Pottermore quiz where it gives you all the questions, not the actual Pottermore quiz where it gives you like the 10 or 12 questions. And
I,
it gives you percentages.
I can't tell you that.
Okay. Well, you have it because it's a different website. So,
Is it the Wizarding World?
no, there's an actual separate website that takes all the questions and you take them.
Well, tell me what that website is, and I will do
remember.
it while we're talking because I can manage both.
Look up complete Pottermore quiz.
Okay.
Well, like when I
So,
took
what-
it the first time,
Yeah, and it's also changed like several
when I
times.
took it the first time, like 15 years ago. A long time ago.
long ass time ago.
Yeah, I got Hufflepuff. I was in Hufflepuff.
You seem like a puff to me.
But no, when I took the longer
such a
quiz you're
fucking
talking
insult,
about,
too.
when I took the longer quiz you're talking about, I got Slytherin.
I also see that.
I see both.
I
Well,
was.
I mean, I don't think anybody really outside of Draco Malfoy just falls into one house.
I got on the big one. I got like it was like 30% Gryffindor, like 25% Ravenclaw, and the other two was like 20.
Fill in the blanks.
Yeah. So I was almost very like evenly split.
So on the first Pottermore I did, I got Ravenclaw. My Patronus was a fox.
I don't remember what my percentage
My
was.
wand was like a Rowanwood wand.
I have no
Bunch of bullshit because there's like 18 different things they
Yeah,
tell
I
you about
did
your
all the
wand.
quizzes. I don't remember.
I only remember because I looked it up whenever we were talking about doing
Mm-hmm.
this podcast. I was like, we should talk about it. So either way, let's talk about our relationships with Harry Potter is what we have wrote down on the
Yeah,
script. It's kind
yeah,
of weird.
well,
I've never
no.
met the guy, so I don't really have a relationship with him.
The IP of Harry Potter, like, have you read all the books? Have you? Okay, so
Can't read. We've been over
Oh
this.
yes, I knew
It's a
this.
deep relationship.
You don't.
It's not. I mean, it's a book.
Yeah,
right?
it is a book.
I like the books, but it's not taking control of my life like it has some people, right?
That's. I read.
No judgments there,
Are you
by the
talk-
way.
are you
It's
talk-
just like,
Are you talking
it's
about, like,
not.
Potterheads that go to like the Wizarding World like every 3
No.
weeks?
Well, I'm talking about my cousin that watches it every year and like reads the books every year.
I mean,
like-
I watch it through like every
like-
6 months just out of boredom.
Oh God, I feel like that's too much.
if it's on like on TV, I'll watch it. Like
Right,
if it's
right.
I'll catch it on. I'm not like
Well, that's different than intentionally putting in a DVD
I
and
think
taking the time to
last
watch
time
it.
I watched them all the way through was
A DVD?
2 or 3. Probably COVID, so it's probably 2 years.
Fucking
ago.
Blu-ray disc.
2008.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It was like COVID years, so like last year, year before.
So
last.
21 or 20.
Yeah. But before that, it had been a while.
So back to the relationship.
Yeah.
I have read through Order of the Phoenix. I have watched all the movies.
Oh, you missed the good books.
Around the time Order of the Phoenix came out, I was tired of reading.
You read the longest book.
Yeah.
And gave up.
Yeah.
Well, I could see how that could happen.
I believe it.
It's got. I mean, So that's what I did. But I have seen all the movies.
Yeah.
I just actually recently, in the last couple of years, this is kind of bad on me, watched all of the movies. Like, I had only watched up to Goblet of Fire for a long time.
I know what favorite book you've read in this series is. What's your favorite book in the series?
My favorite book to read,
Yeah.
Half-Blood Prince.
Half-Blood Prince?
Mm-hmm. I think it's
I think mine
Maybe
is...
I did read Half-Blood Prince. It
Hey, now you're-
remains familiar to me,
well,
but
see,
I don't
you're
know
gonna
if
confuse like the
that's the
movie
thing.
stuff.
I don't.
I haven't read it since it came out.
I feel like I read it because I
Realistically.
remember reading about it being Snape's book.
It is. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I remember reading that, but I don't remember reading the book. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think mine is Chamber of Secrets.
Really?
The book. Not the movie. The book.
I just find that weird. Not weird, but like
I really liked it.
Interesting because it's very similar to the first book.
I feel like it's very similar to the first book, but it
Which-
gets to do more in-depth world building.
you
Chamber of Secrets left a very bad taste in my mouth. If you would like to know why, it's because I took an AR test in school.
Wow.
I watched the
Movie?
We went and watched not even Chamber of Secrets. We went and watched Harry Potter and Sorcerer's Stone. I was reading it at the time. I come back, I had like 4 chapters left, and I was like, I can take this test. Fucking movie's off the book. What's it matter? I got like a 98%, and I was like, test was easy as fuck. I should just go ahead and take Chamber of Secrets. So I did. Fucking made like a 12.
Of course, because you didn't read it.
It was so bad.
You gotta say these were probably like 10-question tests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got like
So you got one.
I got
one or two right.
1 or 2 right. It was so bad, and I was just like, probably should have read that. I can't fucking redo it now.
No, there's something I noticed though, and like if you really think about it, the plots of all 7 of the books are very similar. They're all mystery like books, like they're trying to find a mystery, figure out a mystery, like every one of them. It's just what the mystery is and how it changes is the difference. Anyway, I have read all the books, seen all the movies, read Deathly Hallows the week it came out in like 36 hours, the whole book.
The cousin
That's
I
impressive.
the cousin I was referring to read
Yeah, she read it like in like 48 hours, something like that. Or-
either Order of the Phoenix or Half-Blood Prince. I don't remember which one it was. She read it in not even 48
It
hours.
was 24 hours.
It wasn't even 24 hours.
It was less than a day.
It was less than a day total because she was quote unquote babysitting me at the time.
It had
I
to
didn't
be
really need a
Half-Blood Prince.
babysitter.
It had to
So
be
she
Half-Blood
was
Prince.
at my house from 8 to 3 because my mother got off work at 3. And she read the entire day for 2 days and she was done. So was that 8,
He said,
Wow.
16 hours?
Yeah.
Math?
I would bet it was Half-Blood Prince. Like,
I don't know. I really think it was Order of the Phoenix.
man, that's
It's a really long book.
it's like 12 or 1300 pages. That's impressive.
There's a lot.
Maybe it was Is Half-Blood Prince? That's where
Snape kills Dumbledore.
yeah, it was Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah.
Because I remember her
Crying.
being very upset about
Yeah.
that. So I guess let's just jump into ranking the films.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can rank the books, but
It-
that's going to be more you two than it is me because
And to be honest, they really just kind of like
they're all similar. It's
I think
it's
we
a
could skip the
continuous-
like explanation of the books
Yeah.
because or the movies because like if you haven't watched them, go watch them.
And if you're
you
listening to
pled.
this, you have probably watched them.
fucking
Yeah.
piece of shit.
I will say this, like my dad's a teacher and he's made references to Harry Potter and there have been kids that had no idea what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
there's always
And he
gonna be those
isn't
people.
like he works in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always gonna be those kids that like oh, Harry Potter. Fuck
There-
that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's my wife was that way.
What
Like
am I,
even
a
getting her to
nerd?
watch the movies, she was like, "It's fucking. I don't want to watch Harry Potter." And I was like, "Just fucking watch it. You'll probably like it." And we watched it over Christmas one time, and she liked it.
Plebeians.
Plebeians. So I guess, like I said, we're not gonna explain them. Do you guys want to rank the books between the two of you, or do you kind of both agree that it's just kind of a overall arcing story that you don't
They
really
kind of
need
just
to
get,
rank the
in
book?
my opinion.
I could rank them, but no one's gonna be happy. We all know which one's like the worst one.
I'm waiting.
Is it? Ooh, I don't. Really, you don't like that one?
Yeah, I guess we should rank them
Yeah.
then
Well,
because we don't know.
I haven't read them in like so long, so
No, I'm not talking about the book. I'm talking about
the movies. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought you
we're
were
gonna
talking
we're gonna rank the movies.
I thought you were talking
Okay.
about a book.
I thought we were
yeah,
talking about
no,
the
I was talking about. Do
movies.
you two want to rank the books since you have read all of them?
Oh no! I think all the books are great.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
I have no problem with any of the books.
Okay. Well, then we'll just jump straight into the movies.
The main core books.
like the
main core books.
Yeah, if you read your list, it's on there. It's
Yeah.
we're gonna get to that.
Oh yeah, I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
we're gonna get to that.
So we'll just list the movies. We don't really have to explain them, and then we can go through. Jarrett, do you have your list or like your
My list?
rankings?
Yes.
Okay, because
I
I
don't have
think
it wrote down. I know it.
I think you're the only one that would probably have the rankings prepared.
Are we going bottom to top?
Yeah, go bottom to top.
Ethan was correct. It is Goblet of Fire is the worst one, probably.
Yeah.
After that, it's Chamber of Secrets, then Sorcerer's Stone, then Deathly Hallows Part 2, Order of the Phoenix, Deathly Hallows Part 1, Half-Blood Prince, Prisoner of Azkaban.
Ours are very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you're like, because I'm writing mine down now. I was like, oh well, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Now, I need to preface this with saying
Yeah.
Half-Blood Prince is not a great book adaptation, but it is a fantastic movie because it's probably the funniest of the Harry Potter movies. And it's a very dry, like British style humor, but like I think it's the funniest.
I mean, it's a British style book.
no, but I mean, like it's like it would like if you watched it, it would remind you of something like, you know, like The Office, like the British Office. It's very dry, sarcastic, and it's a really good movie, but it's a poor book adaptation. But I don't hold that against it.
Gotcha. So I will go ahead and jump into mine because again, ours are very similar. I do have Goblet of Fire as my 8. I have Chamber of Secrets as 7. Sorcerer's Stone as 6. I have Deathly Hallows Part 2 as 5. Part 1 as 4. Order of the Phoenix as 3. Half-Blood Prince as 2. And Prisoner of Azkaban as 1. That's my favorite movie. I don't know why. I think that's the one I've watched the most.
It's the best directed movie of them all. Literally has an Academy Award winning director that directed it.
Disagree wholeheartedly.
Really?
Yeah.
Like with all
I
of...
desperately hated Prisoner of Azkaban, the movie.
Why?
Well, okay, so now we can go into that.
Interesting.
What did you hate about Prisoner of Azkaban? Actually, no, let's rank. You can
it.
rank yours, and then we'll go into
Yeah.
what we liked and didn't like about everything.
Well, it's Goblet of Fire's last, just because it's awful. And,
did you put your name on the Goblet of Fire?
Prisoner of Azkaban is 7th. 6 is Order of the Phoenix. 5 is Chamber of Secrets. I know it's my favorite book, but the movie kind of lacks a lot. 4 is Deathly Hallows Part 2. 3 is Deathly Hallows Part 1. 2 is Half-Blood Prince. And number 1 is Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay.
And, I mean, that's generally because, like, it was...
Nostalgia.
Well, I think it was the best adapted.
I would agree with that.
From the book.
There
I would agree with
was
that. It's the shortest and it's probably the easiest to adapt.
Oh, yeah.
back to the AR test
Yeah.
that we had to take. Watch that movie. There was one question that was not scene for scene or word for word, whatever you want to say from the book.
Something with Peeves.
No. It was a animal jumps on the mailbox or lands on the mailbox or whatever happens in the book. It's a cat in the book and an owl in the movie.
I know. Yep.
And
I think I got the exact same question wrong.
that was the only question, and I answered it right because I had read up to that part and I remembered it.
Miss Fig's cat?
It was at the Dursleys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably it's
Yeah.
either that or McGonagall.
I can't remember.
I don't.
I
remember.
don't think it's ever said.
Well, I'm saying it's probably Miss Fig's cat because she's their neighbor and lives. Or
Oh,
it's
gotcha.
McGonagall. I don't remember.
I don't know. Just in general, I think.
Yeah,
like,
I would-
all in all, they did a really good casting job.
They did.
I don't think there was one person out of place for me.
I'm trying to
The
think.
acting was a little hokey,
Oh,
but
those first
that
two
kind of
movies-
felt all right in that movie.
Well, you got to think you're working with a lot of kids.
Those
Yeah,
first two
that's what
movies
I'm
are not-
saying.
the kids are not great actors, But you watch like their later stuff, like somewhere along the way, all three of them became like really good actors.
Right.
Not even 3.
Well,
Malfoy.
I mean, like
I can't
No.
even remember that.
he always has been like it was really cheesy, but he was always
Yeah, you always kind of hated him.
he was always been really
Which
good
is the
being a
sign of a good actor that
dickhead.
we've talked about. If you hate a character based off the character, that actor's doing a damn good job.
Right.
But what's your problems with Azkaban?
Why don't we go to the next one first? Because there's
Oh.
one in between.
I mean, I didn't know we were.
Well,
gonna go
no,
movie by movie.
let's start at Sorcerer's Stone.
Yeah, that's fine.
We've talked about what we like, what we dislike, all that fun stuff. So
Well, we
now
already
to the
did.
magic. Well, we kind of did. We didn't really. We just ranked them. We didn't really talk. We just said the actors were good. Or
You just talked about Sorcerer's Stone.
all we really said was that the actors were well chosen.
Okay, go
Is
on.
that the only thing you like about the fucking movie?
That makes the biggest difference.
I will agree. So we're gonna roll the magic D6. Jarrett, you're up.
4-chamber, right? Are we just
Sorcerers.
sorcerer? Okay, I didn't.
No.
See. Sorcerers.
Yes,
Okay.
sorcerers. We're gonna go back
For-
to sorcerers.
For the rest of the world, Philosopher's Stone.
Yes, we can already go with
Okay,
the act. Or it was great casting. We can leave that out.
I don't know if it's just because Chris Columbus directed it, and it's got like a very like holiday movie feel.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's why, but even though there's it's one of the only movies that has an actual Christmas scene in it. The first two specifically, because he directed both of them, feel very holiday-esque movies to me.
I think that's
they both feel like
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
and that's why a lot of people watch them around the holidays. I think they actually come out on TV.
Yeah, they do.
around the holidays.
I mean, I think that might also be partially because of John Williams.
Yeah, maybe his score. I don't
It's
know.
very similar in a lot of ways to like the Home Alone score.
Did he do the Home Alone score?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I just said Chris Columbus directed Home Alone,
Yeah.
so it's like very similar things. I really like the Dursleys. Like I like to hate them. Like they're really.
They are easy to hate in books and movies.
yeah.
37. 36 last year. I had 37.
Yeah.
Deadly, you fat fuck. Not to body shame.
Oh
but,
man, they do it in the books.
He gets
Oh,
skinny.
yeah, no, Harry Melling or Harry, whatever his actor's name is. He's really slimmed down because he's really good in. He's in some western. He's really good in.
Some Western.
He is. He plays.
What
an
a
Ameri-
fucking switch that was.
Yes, he plays an American in western. I can't remember. Is it? Oh shit! I have to look it up. But he's really good at it. He's like him and Neville both like really like glowed up.
Oh yeah, Neville.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking.
And then the one like
You can show somebody
Mm-hmm.
like 1, 2, 3, or 4, and then just skip to
Yeah.
Deathly Hollows Part 2,
yeah,
and then be
no,
like,
you just show somebody Neville in the first movie, and then you show him in 8, and they're like.
That's not the
Yeah,
same person.
You're gonna. That's
Or
exactly
even
what I was
worse,
gonna
he
say.
has like some model photos where
But-
he's got like like a stubble, and you're like,
But
That's
then
not
you've
the
got
same
like
guy.
Yeah.
Then you've got like Rupert Grint, who doesn't look any different.
Yeah, he just looks like a
he looks exactly
bigger
the same.
version.
Just got scraggly facial hair.
No, he hasn't changed between the end, like in the past 10 years. He looks exactly the same. Exactly the same.
Good jeans. I bet they're Wranglers.
I was gonna say Levi, but
To each their own.
Yeah. And I also really just like Richard Harris.
hey, he's perfect.
That's so good.
Yeah.
All right, now we're gonna see who goes next. Ethan.
Chamber of the Secrets. Where do
No.
I?
Sorcerer's Stone. We're still on
Sorcerer's
Sorcerer's Stone.
Stone?
Yeah.
We're going to do
What?
We're going to do all of them?
I mean, it.
All three of us do all 3 movies?
All right, fine, fair enough. Go to Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets. Where do you start? Like, there's a lot of problems, but the story is not the problem, and the actors aren't the problem. It's like how they cut the story to be in a movie. There's a lot of issues.
Left out a lot of stuff.
They left out.
Important stuff.
No, it just doesn't translate well to a movie.
That also might be because it's so tonally very similar to
It's
one.
true.
Like,
It's true.
it's-
It's darker though.
Yeah.
It's a lot darker, but like, I don't know. I just feel like in general it
I
wasn't
find
that.
it boring. It's like it's a boring movie to me.
Yeah, exactly. It just does not translate as well because you're not discovering anything
The
anymore.
mystery's not compelling to me.
If it were,
Yeah.
if it were the mystery in the first book,
In the
would've
book
been
it was.
fine.
Yeah, in the book, it's almost more like a horror mystery. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's suspense in there and stuff, but you don't get in the movie.
Yeah, you don't feel. You see those scenes, but as a kid, like thinking back to as a kid watching it, it didn't feel super suspenseful.
And some of the way that they did a few things, like the basilisk, did not look like what I thought it was going to look like.
Just a big snake, but I don't know what a
It
basilisk.
doesn't even look like a snake. It looks like a lizard head on a worm.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be more apt to be something out of Dune than out of Harry Potter.
I can see that. I think we kind of talked about
Anything
downsides
good?
and
Dobby was good.
Oh, Dobby.
Dobby was really good.
Toby Jones is so good. Oh my God, who plays Malfoy? Big Malfoy. Lucius. Why can't I
I
do
can't
his name?
remember his name.
Jason Isaacs.
Yes.
yeah, he's a real cunt.
Look, he's good at everything he's fucking ever done. He's one of
He's
them.
always good at being evil.
Yes, he's so good at being a dickhead.
I really just think like he's the same character that he played in Patriot.
He literally is.
I think he's the same. He's the same character.
If you got a niche, stick to it.
One of my favorite
works.
things about this movie is there's the scene where they're walking out of Dumbledore's office at the very end of the movie, right? And he hits Dobby.
Yeah.
That was improv.
Was it really?
Yes, Jason Isaacs literally was like, I would kick this poor creature. So they had to CGI Dobby getting kicked.
That's great.
Yeah, but then you get this weird thing where Malfoy turns around and is like, Avada, and it's like, you're gonna kill the kid
Yeah.
Yes.
in the school.
Yeah.
It's a school shooting. That's what it is.
I mean,
That
yeah.
doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's evil, but he's not stupid.
Yeah. But sometimes your anger can take control of you, and that's what happened in that situation.
It's funny because
Is there another spell that starts with Avada?
not that we know.
No, I'm not
But
saying that.
also-
I'm saying he just
At the time the movie came out, well, no, the movie might have came out right around 4, so we might know it actually. Avada Kedavra did, but if I don't remember, did it?
2002, 2000. So it was 2
Yeah.
years
So we did
after.
actually then.
So we would have known.
I can't even remember if that happened in the book. I don't think
No.
he just raised. He
No.
just raised his wand.
Yeah, he raised his wand.
then-
Yeah, he
Dobby's
doesn't say
like,
anything, but they
Screw
probably
you.
gave him a line to say to make it sound more threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if he was just like this, they'd be like,
They'd be like, "Well, he could cast any number of fucking spells."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I won't even roll for this one so that we don't have the chance of going
sure,
back.
you get prisoner.
I love this movie. It's dark. I like to see Lupin as the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. You get to see the werewolf scene at the end. Sirius trying to keep him from being I don't want to say evil, but evil, doing evil things as he's a werewolf.
Out of control. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't have his faculties about him.
Yeah, and I love that we get to meet Sirius because he's probably my favorite character.
Lupin's my favorite character.
Go fuck yourself.
Well, look, I love.
I will.
Sirius.
I will take the dog over the werewolf.
But there's
I hate the look of the werewolf.
I don't want the werewolf looks awful.
I love werewolves.
Yeah.
I hate the Harry Potter werewolves.
It looks.
Hate them. Downside, I hate the time turner.
So does everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's my biggest problem.
We'll get to it. Why it's a problem.
It's just like if they're not supposed to run into each other, there's got to be people that know that Hermione's in this class, and it's just there's a lot of
negligence going on at this
Yeah.
fucking school.
negligence and plot
This
holes.
new Dumbledore don't got his
This
shit
new
line.
Dumbledore. Fair enough.
We have to, yeah. You can't leave out the new Dumbledore because Richard Harris died. Therefore, we got, I know his name. Why did I forget his name?
Gambon.
Yeah, Michael Gambon, who I think fits the later Dumbledore much better than Richard Harris would have.
Possibly.
Because Richard Harris also would have been in his 80s by the time we got to there.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was like in his mid to late 70s.
Yeah, but Dumbledore's like 150.
I know, but like some of the stuff he has to end up doing, I don't think
Yeah.
he could have done, obviously, because he was dead.
I
I mean, good point.
really don't like this movie at all.
Why? Explain
Tell
to
us.
us why you don't like this movie.
Lots of
You know what's
reasons.
funny though? I complain about darkness in movies, like in every Marvel movie that we talked about and all that stuff. I'm like, man, it's too dark. This is probably one of the darkest thematic, shot scenes,
But
or
it's-
shot movies.
It's dark, but you can see what's going on.
That's true.
There's a difference. It can be dark. You just have to be able to tell what's going on.
I don't know. Maybe it's the lack of Christopher Columbus. I was really expecting more of that holiday feel. This movie is campy in all the wrong ways. The first two are campy in good ways, where it's enjoyable. Like Home Alone is campy. Campy would be like
No, I'm trying to think of what would be campy in this movie that you would be referring to.
the acting, the way that the cast is directed to act. So, like in the scene where they've met Buckbeak for the first time in Hagrid's class.
Oh, you don't like that Malfoy's an idiot?
No, that's not it at all.
Okay.
So, like,
I was like, that happens in the books.
no.
does the
Okay.
exact
So
same thing.
what happens is the hippogriff, Buckbeak, rears up and Hermione gets scared, so she grabs Harry's hand and then they like kind of shuffle away from each other, like, oh, we didn't mean to do that. And it's just really poor. It's really poorly done. And there are like at least 20 or 50, 40 other, between 20 and 40 other scenes in that movie that are exactly the same. It's just this really awkward situation that's forced, that not only doesn't make any sense, it's poorly done.
Yeah.
Let
I
alone,
can-
let
I
alone
can
you
see
see
that.
a lot of the characters are really changing. So like they've stayed the same between Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, and now they're really different. Look at Hermione. She went from being this nerdy little girl to like being like that kind of awkward like 14-year-old, but is kind of coming into a womanhood. But it happened over what, the 3 months they were out of school?
Yeah.
That's just kind of like a movie thing. Like
She
you
got
gotta, like,
a hair straightener in that time.
that's just kind of think like, what are you gonna do about the actor's agent? Like,
And then the rest of the
Especially
hair in the
whenever you use
movie,
kid
yeah,
actors. I mean,
there's not a whole lot you can do.
the
about
rest
that.
of the hairdos in the movie were just stupid.
We haven't got to the Batman movie yet.
yeah, we'll get there.
And it gets worse. I'm not saying it doesn't get worse. I'm saying
They like
it,
progressively get
most definitely
worse.
gets worse.
And then they get better for a little bit.
It's not progressive. It's the next movie, and then they're fine the rest of the time.
Yeah, and so like I mean another one like is inappropriate actions in the situation that they're in. So whenever they just an example of this. So whenever they're breaking Sirius out of the cell at the top of the tower,
Yeah.
like and they're flying Buckbeak away, and he's like hooping and hollering like the whole way while they're flying. It's like they're trying to escape.
Yeah.
And he's screaming at the top of his lungs. Punch that dude in the face.
I can see that, but I think the idea behind
You're
it,
overlooking it because you haven't watched it in a long time. Watch it again and
just
look at it
watched
more
it last
critically and being like, instead of being like, oh, well, I loved this movie when I first saw it, so it's good now.
I will try to justify anything.
Look at it. Go and look at it and try to find something wrong with it, and you'll find a lot.
Well, yeah. You can do that with
Doesn't
anything,
anything.
though. If you try to find something wrong,
Look, it's fair. You don't.
Thor
Like,
Ragnarok.
I can go back and find some shit wrong with that.
We
can't.
We
This
went over this already.
This is not a Marvel.
Yeah, it's fair. You don't like the movie. It's fine. Everybody's opinions are different.
Yeah.
The next one we can all agree on.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's me again.
Now it might be for different reasons, but we can all agree on it.
Goblin of Fire. Fuck the hairstyles.
Oh, it's like they
bad.
went back to the 70s. I don't understand
Like,
it. At some point during the end of Prisoner and the beginning of Goblet, they was like, Daniel, Rupert, grow your hair out.
as long as you
As long
can.
as you can.
Make it to
Shoulder
where
length hair.
most of the time you can't see because it's in your fucking face.
It just makes no sense.
It bothered me.
But we get back.
Although we do get a really good scene in it. Robert Pattinson dies,
Yeah.
which we have talked about in a
Look, I like our Pat.
Goodbye, shovel face.
His character is severely underdeveloped in this movie, but I like our Pat.
I was rooting for Voldemort this entire time.
You would.
And when he won this situation, and
he win?
Worm,
Voldemort didn't even win. Wormtail did it.
yeah, no, but no,
That's
he
how
was holding
shitty-
him like a little baby, and he's like, "Kill the spare." And he's like, "Kill the spare." Avada Kedavra, and it just, I was like, "Yeah,
In the middle of the theater,
Get him!
Ethan stands up.
No, at that point, this is the only movie I was like, I got mad. Jesus. I got mad after the
blew
movie.
yours out.
Yeah, he did. I got mad at the end of the movie because I was just like, they left so much stuff out. They left so much.
I guess one of the scenes that I see that bothers me the most in this is the and it's just because it differentiates from the book so much, is Dumbledore yelling at Harry, "Did you
Okay.
put your name in?" Because in the book,
That's
it's like
a directing
he
thing.
calmly asked him, "Did you
Yeah.
put your?" And he's like, he shoved him up against a fucking like bookcase.
Yeah.
He was like shaking him down.
Just punking him out.
I
Just-
thought he was gonna beat this
Yeah.
poor child.
man, it's not good.
It's an odd directing choice. I forgot who did it.
Most of the movies.
Whoever did
I agree with that,
this movie, I forget who. I have to look it up. But whoever did it, he got this movie, and then that was it.
and that was it. Gotcha.
And then David Yates has done every Harry Potter movie since.
For
For better, for worse.
it's weird to like Mad Eye Moody,
Oh, he's
knowing that it's not Mad Eye Moody.
Brendan Gleeson's good, so good.
Yeah, he did a
And-
good job.
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
I don't mean it that way. It's like
David
the
Tennant.
character.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that he says and does.
do you find yourself agreeing with?
No, I don't. It's
But
just
he's an interesting character.
it's an interesting character, but
And
then
then-
when you think about it, you're like, this isn't actually him.
and then we see him 2 more times, and then he's dead.
Yeah.
We'd never really get to spend any more time with actual
Exactly.
Moody.
That's the other thing I don't understand. He was supposed to spend this whole year being the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and then they're just like, we don't need you.
Well, he
This-
was,
They could have brought him
literally-
back for year 5.
nope, that's the curse. Can't.
It's like bringing a gun into a classroom and then shooting some dogs.
Shooting some
and being
puppies.
like, you should avoid these. Bam, bam, bam.
It was fucked up.
It's really bad. I don't know. I did have a really good acting moment in the movie though, and that was Cedric Diggory's father crying.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
it's like heartbreaking.
You feel bad for him.
Oh.
It's really heartbreaking.
It gets you. You're like,
It's the only part in the movie that's good though. Unfortunately, yeah.
not Ray Fiennes as Voldemort, who's so goddamn campy. It's good. It's so enjoyable. I just love it.
Yeah. the finger.
Touch you now. Touches his forehead. It's like straight to jail.
Straight to
Woo, woo. That's a pedo right there.
It's a bead. He said, I tried to touch you as a baby. It didn't fucking work. I'm back at it.
Oh my goodness!
I don't know what
Oh.
that fucking accent is.
It's
What
the almost
is
kind
that?
of
and it's just bad. Just stop.
Okay, fair enough.
So good.
Fair enough. Let's see. Ethan, take us to Order of the Phoenix.
Another one with a lot of problems, but they're not lacking in fitting the story in from the book.
Yeah, this is the shortest movie with the longest book, and that's probably was actually justified.
And I understand why. It's a lot to pack into a movie, and they packed in all the really important bits.
And left out most of Harry being a whiny bitch.
But it feels like they recorded the movie, and the movie was supposed to be twice as
There's
long.
se-
They left it on fast forward.
There's
for the
8
whole
movies
movie.
of Harry being a bitch.
no, the book. That
Okay.
out of the 1,300 pages, whatever, like 800 of it is Harry being a whiny, emotional teenager,
Yeah.
and it's kind of a chore to read.
It makes sense, though, because
didn't
he
say
is a
that-
teenager, and
say it
most
doesn't
of them
make
are
sense.
fucking
It's
whiny,
just-
emotional bitches.
I mean, I know me and Tyler have gone through puberty, but it was pretty rough, like emotionally at times.
Why are we
Again,
leaving Jared out of this?
I'm not saying
I'm not
he
sure.
He didn't have a
I mean,
right.
he's got a beard, but-
I'm just saying it's a chore to read. I remember it being a
It
chore
is.
to read. But here's one thing the movies did. They fixed the ending of this book. Where the book is kind of, they scattered all out throughout the Department of Mysteries.
Yeah.
And in the movie, they all consolidate into the Veil Room.
Yeah.
And they just skip all the other stuff that's...
Actually, you're right.
The only important part, I told you we get to the time turners, of them spreading out through the Department of Mysteries in the book is so she can destroy all the time turners. Every single one. Mm-hmm. Because, I forget, I think it's Ron. And whatever Death Eater is chasing him, they blow up the room with the time turners.
Gotcha.
Because that's how J.K. Rowling writes.
It was really confusing in the book.
Yes, it's hard to follow.
And it's so much easier on the movie. There was a really, really, really weird thing, though, what they did at the end with Voldemort trying to possess Harry. Mm-hmm. It's really strange. He couldn't touch him anymore, so he had to get inside.
him.
And it's
Giggity.
just really strange.
Told you, that's a pedo right there.
I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Just like Harry.
Okay, I was about to say, just like, sorry for you.
So, Jarrett,
Half-Blood.
Yep.
Like I said earlier, not a good book adaptation because they leave out half of Voldemort's mystery. You know, the main selling point of this movie is like we're supposed to get all this dirt on Voldemort and be like, oh, that's cool. Leave out like half the stuff about the Horcruxes. But this movie,
I absolutely remember reading this because I remember reading about the Horcruxes.
Huh.
I'm stupid. As the more we talk about it, the more I remember reading.
I don't know if it's like Jim Broadbent or like whatever, but like something happened in this movie where they like it's the same people who wrote it, but like for some reason they decided to have like way more humor in it, and
It's Slughorn.
it's like it's not all Slughorn because
It's like 90% Slughorn.
it is like a good chunk of it, but like there's like there's a scene where McGonagall where she's telling Harry that he can go into potions because
Yeah.
of owls, and she goes, "Take Weasley with you. He's too looks too happy up there." she's so. And there's another scene where she has the golden trio, and she's like, "Why is it always you three?"
Yeah.
It gets and Ron goes, "I don't know. I asked myself the
Been
same." Yeah.
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah. Same group for 6 years. I don't
Like,
know.
I'm just fucking. I'm
the
struggling.
series.
It's like I don't want to be in this.
I don't. It's a much more fun movie
Yes.
than the last three, especially.
Pick the wrong seat on the trolley.
There was a YouTube like clip. It was like a series clip. So they recut this movie into a rom-com, and it works.
Well,
I
mean,
I
it's
can see
Luna
it.
too.
Luna's also
Luna,
really, yeah.
and Luna's like
Yeah,
everybody's
we didn't talk
favorite.
about Luna. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's
Yeah.
Is this the one? Is this the one where we? No, it's Deathly Hollows where we see the dead horses.
no, it's
It's this
Is it-
one.
is
It's
it
the
this
beginning
one?
of this
Yeah.
one.
because him and Luna are riding in the cart.
Yeah, and they're
carriage
both
together at the very end.
and they're both talking
the
about
beginning.
how they can see him, and everybody else is like, I don't see shit. Which is an interesting point.
I think technically he could see them in 5th year. I think in the books he sees them in 5th year
Gotcha.
because he sees them after Cedric dies.
Makes
But
sense.
in the
Which
mo-
is weird because
but
you
in
think
the
he would
movies-
see them
yes.
before.
No, he didn't watch his mother die. He just saw the green flash. And plus, he was a baby, so his eyes were
He watched.
fully developed.
Well, at least in the movie, they made it look like he was there to see everything.
Yeah, but you're like it's like a conscious memory.
Yeah, but every
Yeah.
time they show that memory, it's always like Harry's in like a different position. The baby Harry is in
Well,
like
yeah,
a different
because
position.
they can't.
There's a continuity issue there, but I mean, it also makes sense because he's trying to remember something when he was like 1.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't even remember like junior high.
I can't remember 2 weeks ago.
Who are you people?
Where am I?
Who am I? What am I? All right, so fuck, it's me again. Deathly Hollows. I feel like I have no word. Part 1. I have no word on if it's a good adaptation because I know I haven't read the books.
It's a fair adaptation.
It's not bad.
Together because they split it in half. You know, you get 4 hours of maybe it might be closer to 5, but I don't remember. But
I think it.
you get
This is where it's Hermione, Ron, and Harry all looking for the Horcruxes, right?
yes. This movie is them looking for the Horcruxes.
And it's also the movie where Ron's like, "Go fuck yourself," and
Yeah,
leaves
I'm
because
fucking-
he's in such
Yes.
proximity to the Horcrux. Which brings up another question of how the fuck were these 3 friends this long without being
Oh, you don't know
such a piece of shit?
You don't know the theory of why the Dursleys are so evil.
Yeah, I
good,
do
yeah.
because they were around Harry for fucking
Which is not,
12
it's-
years.
It's not true, but
It's not. They were just shitty people because they
they're shitty
hated.
people.
Yeah.
They,
Because
what-
Petunia
they were
was jealous.
Yes.
jealous, and they hated wizardry
Yeah.
because of it. I mean, it got
Yeah,
her sister
yeah.
killed. She was jealous because she wasn't part of it, and then it also got her sister killed. In the end,
I really feel bad for Vernon Dursley, though.
I don't.
I don't.
I really do because like he's a normal guy trying to live his life, and then he marries this lady who introduces him, you know, on a tangent kind of, but introduces him to a whole world of where everything's weird,
Yeah,
and he's trying to cope with it. I feel really bad
and he
for
probably
him.
struggles with that in his own way, and that's part of the reason why he's probably a big old dick to Harry because he doesn't understand it. He gets thrust into this world and doesn't understand any piece of it, and will never understand fully any piece of it.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of
It's just
I guess we're getting on this because this is the last movie that they're in.
it's true.
yeah. I forgot.
They are not in part 2 because
Well, there's no start to the
yeah,
year.
they are.
They don't have to be.
Yeah. Dobby dies, and it's like emotionally, like it kills me every time.
I knew almost from the get-go that Dumbledore was probably going to go.
At some
That's like
point.
the old.
At
That's like
some
the,
point.
That's like hero's journey stuff. Like
That's
the
Hero's Journey. The mentor dies.
Yeah.
That's, that's like every story.
To be honest,
And
I thought
I
it
don't
was going to
mind.
be from drinking. Like,
I
yeah,
understood.
in the book,
I
yeah.
understood when Sirius died. I understood what happened and why Harry had to do it because he can't rely on somebody else. He has to learn how to be himself. But how dare you, J.K. Rowling,
What?
kill Dobby?
yeah.
Who do you think you are?
There was no need for it.
No.
Wildly unnecessary.
It kills me every time. Every time. And that's the fucked up thing. He's not even in the movies from 2 until
Yeah.
this one. I don't.
Yeah,
he's. I don't.
briefly in one of them, isn't he? Isn't he in Order of the Phoenix for like a brief second?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe.
Maybe it's very little compared to in the books. He's in them. I don't think he's in 3, but in 4 he starts working at Hogwarts in the kitchens,
Yeah.
and then Harry interacts with him like every year.
I feel
after
like
that.
I feel like there's some weird stuff that goes on in Part 1, Deathly Hallows, like the weird dancing scene.
You mean the hopes and dreams of all the Harry Hermione shippers?
Yeah.
Where they
Listen, I am that.
look, it's not fair that they have better chemistry than her and Rupert, but I don't like. You just can't.
It's not even that. I just have an issue with, and I guess this is
Are you gonna say why? How dare she choose Ron over Harry?
exactly.
No.
Ron fucking sucks.
In the movies, he does. Kinda
Ron fucking
suck.
sucks in the books.
No, he's really good. In the
He sucks.
He's the best.
I'm picking Harry. Fucking rich.
Yeah, Hermione's not materialistic.
The boy who lived. I'm going after him. Daniel Radcliffe, hit me up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right? $20 is
I
$20.
thought I knew you.
See, I interpret that scene completely differently. I interpret it as two friends, one who's in love with the other best friend and is like emotionally like distraught because he's missing, leaning on the other one for comfort.
It's the best friend sister thing. It
Yes.
was never not going to happen between Harry and Ginny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
listen, if the girl that
And if only the movie set it up better.
if the
That's true. Though.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about awkward moments? The kiss. Okay, it's really awkward until George says something, and then it's fucking amazing. Morning. Oh, I'm like, you cheeky bastards.
so I'm just saying, if my best friend got the hot girl, I'm fucking his sister. It's happening.
Revenge.
Yeah, it's happening. I'm sorry. It's I see plenty of memes that talk about that
Yeah,
that are like,
It's true.
best friend got the girl, fucked his sister. All right, Ethan,
Part
take
2.
us into part 2.
Yeah, where do we go from there? That was really awkward.
It happens.
It's enjoyable and it's fun.
It's
The whole fight scene's pretty cool. I feel like it's really weird to say because I know it's scripted, but it feels like it's scripted.
Oh, you move like the battle feels like it's
Yeah.
choreographed.
Yeah, it feels.
It's not chaotic
Because
enough.
it is.
Yeah, it's like watching, I don't know, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really scripted. It feels that way, and I know it's weird that way, but it should feel natural.
There should be some chaos to this that there doesn't really exist in
Yeah,
this movie. Like I don't.
and you never see. And I understand it's supposed to be a kids movie, right? I understand that
At this
in a
point,
way.
I feel like we get to like we're like adult.
but
like
you
young
don't
adult
see
movies.
anybody die,
That's true. It's a weird thing.
and then you just get to the like.
I don't know if it was a time issue
The
where
scene-
they wouldn't with the funeral. It might be because it's supposed to be more from like Harry's point of view, and he sees none of those people die. It's
He
very
just
similar.
shows
to the,
up and they're
He
dead.
shows up to the Great
like-
Hall, and they're all dead.
Yeah, when they get back to the thing, like everyone's sitting around all sad, and except for Professor Sprout, apparently,
Yeah.
who's smiling. It's really weird.
Because he probably grows pot.
See,
And she.
She. Why did I think he?
you're thinking of
Who am I thinking
Flitwick.
of?
You're thinking of Flitwick.
Probably. Yeah, that's who I'm thinking of.
But yeah, it's really strange. Just and it walks in there and like everyone's dead.
There's also some weird things like McGonagall, like her being like excited about using the spell to protect the castle, and I'm like, it's just a really odd like.
Also, what happened to the other? There's no explanation for Malfoy's other henchmen. There's supposed to be Crabbe and Goyle, but there's only one.
One of it's what he got arrested or something, and
Yeah.
he got kicked off, and they replaced him with Blaze.
Well, I think his mom took him off afterwards. It was like, no, we're not.
Something happened. I can't remember, but he got like in some bad shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, but I mean, there was no
Yeah.
explanation. Like,
No, it's just it's
really weird.
kind of just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
here's Blaze. You're
well.
supposed to figure it out. Yeah, I don't
It
think
was just strange. It was just strange.
I don't even think they name him in the movie. You're just
Yeah.
supposed to know who that is if you read the books. That's Blaze Zabini, and that's you're supposed to because he's like the only like
Yeah, you're supposed to. It's supposed to register in your mind that that is not one that you have been seeing, and it's new, and this is who it is.
Also, where were the house elves?
Where were the centaurs or any of the things like the big thing?
Anything that we met.
That was the point. Like they all joined in the battle in the book.
Yeah.
I have another problem with how they
Hagrid's brother, was he in it?
a Gwamp. I'm sure. I'm like 99% sure he fought. I'm sure.
No, I know he is in the
in
book. I can't remember if he was in the movie.
I don't think so. I don't remember there being a scene with him.
Could have been. Like a big giant,
Maybe,
but kaiju type.
I have a
just fat guys.
Big problem with how Voldemort dies, in that he disintegrates, and
Yeah,
in the
really
in the
weird.
book he just is a dead body. He just falls down like a regular human,
Oh.
and that's the point.
Yeah, it's that he
is-
was just
he is
essentially. I mean,
just
that's what he
human.
is. He just.
But in the movie, they're like, nah, that's not cool.
He's
enough. He
something
has to
special.
disintegrate-
Yeah, but
disintegrate.
he's so over the like Ralph Fiennes is.
yes, it's
Voldemort's so over the top
Yes.
acted that he couldn't just die like a regular person. He had to do it over the top as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Dust in the wind.
uh, there was
Don't break the wand.
Yeah, no shit.
Why are you breaking the wand?
It makes way more sense than what he actually does in the books, which is literally just be like,
Repair his wand?
no, but in the
He did.
he did, but I don't think even in this movie, I don't think his wand breaks. I don't remember it.
No, he just
He
ends up.
doesn't use it
Yeah.
throughout
Yeah.
Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
He doesn't use it.
But what he does with it in the book also makes no fucking sense because he's like, I'll just put it in Dumbledore's tomb, and it'll be fine.
And then somebody
and
can
then
just dig it up.
I'll never get disarmed ever again in the rest of my life, and it'll be fine. I'm like, that makes no sense. At least him breaking it, I'm like, makes some sense.
Keep it.
Or keep it, but like
Yeah.
I think he didn't want anybody to know that he had it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's also just like a fucking MacGuffin. It's a thing
Yeah.
that exists that's really powerful. You're like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
There was something else I don't like about this movie, but I can't remember. But the two things I love about this movie is Harry calling out Snape.
My body is ready. That whole meme. Don't you remember that? Where
Oh,
he's like got
yes.
his like hands up on the window and the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that both of these things are Dan Radcliffe's acting that just does it for me. It's like him calling out Snape, how dare you stand where he stood? Like it just, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
chills. And then him in the forest when he's like, will you stay with me? And then they're like, always. It's just like, oh my God.
McGonagall stepping out there and doing her
Oh,
little
yes.
fire.
It's really cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
So let's go on to the next thing where we talk about the expanded Wizarding World movies and the Cursed Child book.
Yeah.
Haven't read it. We'll stick with the fact that I can't read.
Don't want to read it. I'll give you the synopsis. Harry's second son, Albus Severus Potter, gets sorted into Slytherin.
Yeah. I remember hearing about that part.
Therefore, Harry goes, I hate you. You're not my son. I wish you were never born. Makes no fucking sense. So Albus and Scorpius Malfoy get a time card. Yeah. Yeah.
That's such a fucking Draco thing.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's a black thing where they're all named for constellations or stars, either one. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so they steal a time turner,
Okay.
but it's a special time turner that lets them go like years back in time.
That were destroyed.
Yes, that makes sense. That's another reason it makes no fucking sense.
In Hermione's office.
Yeah, it's in Hermione's. And
She kept the only one.
So here's what they do. They keep Cedric Diggory alive, and therefore Cedric Diggory becomes a Death Eater. And then they keep going back in time, and they fuck up a bunch of shit. Like Voldemort has a daughter now named Delphi, that him and Bellatrix like had. It's fucking weird. And then they erase it where they're never born, I think, or something. I can't remember. But it's a bad fan fiction. It's fucking awful.
It's everything that's wrong with time travel in any story.
Yeah.
It's just messy and doesn't make any sense.
I've heard like the play is like really good. Like you go watch the play, and it's really good. Like the stage production and like the set design, all that stuff is, and the effects are really good. And
Like the characters are fine for the most part, outside of Harry.
Harry
The
does-
characters are fine.
I can never get over the fact that he tells his own son, "You're no son of mine. I wish you weren't born." I'm like, what?
Especially because
I'm like,
don't him
what
and
the
Draco end up fairly getting not
They're like-
getting along, but
They're civil.
they're okay with it.
It's not because he's friends with Scorpius. It's because he's a Slytherin. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in my mind, I assume that he would equate Slytherin to Draco because that's the one that he sees the
I
most.
hate it. I hate it.
I would
so
probably
much.
give it a 1 out of 10
It's so
stars.
bad.
Damn,
Yeah,
that bad.
it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then we've got the Fantastic Beasts series, which is there books with that?
No.
No,
No,
They're not
it's
based
just
on books.
straight movies.
It's just straight movies.
Okay,
It's
I like them. They're interesting to me to watch.
I enjoy them a lot. I have a couple problems with them, of course, any movie, but
have you seen the both of you, either one? You seen the newest one?
I have not.
Is it the worst one?
No, I don't like 2 at all. 2 is like such a
It's weird.
it's a weird movie. 3 at least is like a normal movie. It's just I don't care anymore about the story of this where it's going, which is weird because this is what I've wanted. It was just Grindelwald and Dumbledore, but then they've made it somehow very uninteresting. I think it's trying to shove Newt in there at the same time, and I like both of those stories, but it's
That's separate stories,
Yeah.
not together.
It's just weird that they're telling that story from the point of view of Newt.
yes, it's
It's
odd.
just strange. It felt like it was going to be strange
Mm-hmm.
when they announced what it was going to be about.
Like if it would have been like the
Essentially.
first book is Fantastic Beasts, and the next however many are about Grindelwald and Dumbledore, and Newt's a side character.
Yeah.
It's fine, but they are Newt is the main character in all 3 of these movies.
Yeah, and then you just have to see.
Very weird.
The first two, my main complaint, it's really weird, and I'll preface this. I really like Johnny Depp. I do not like him as Grindelwald at all.
It's
Not even close.
He doesn't work as Grindelwald. I don't know what does, but
Yeah.
Matt Mikkelsen is so much better.
I feel like he would be. When I heard they replaced
Yeah.
Johnny Depp with Mads, I thought,
Yeah.
well, that's just a good choice. Because he's so good at playing a bad guy
Yeah.
and being thoughtful.
But they're just that's yeah. So they're kind of meh. I don't know what they're really going to do if they're actually going to end up finishing out this. I think they are, but who knows if they're actually going to end up finishing out the 2 planned movies they have.
Oh, there's 2 more?
Yes.
Jesus. Didn't know
they
there was
don't
that
do
many.
trilogies. They do series.
Well, I know
Who knows if
that,
it's
but
gonna get
shit.
condensed down to one movie, but I don't know. They was planned to be 5.
Gotcha. All right. So let's go on to discussing the problems with the world.
Yeah.
We can talk about that for hours.
Well, I just want to point out, like when I said this is how J.K. writes, she takes her criticism very, like
To heart.
to heart. So one of the main problems everybody has with time turners is that they exist and they are just a plot device that why have they never used. So she writes one book where they're used, gets criticism in the 4th book when they're not used. In the 5th book, she destroys them.
Yeah.
And then
In the
there's-
4th book, though, where would you?
they're just saying why would no one ever use one to like stop any of these things? Like why would they not
Yeah.
go back in time and stop or figure out at least who the fuck put Harry's name in the Goblet of Fire? I don't know.
I can see that, but at the same time,
gets,
it'd be
like,
difficult to do because it's time travel. It's
Well, that's the thing. Time travel makes everything confusing.
Difficult.
It's
Yeah.
a great story plot if you can
pull it
limit,
off.
if you can limit it to where it can be used sparingly.
I have trouble believing that nobody can figure out that there's a wizarding world because there's supposed to be magical creatures everywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how many men in black you have going around flashing people, which that's the same idea.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't matter how many. There's like you cannot hit every corner of the world, and I know that's where like myths are supposed to come
Yeah.
from and stuff. I get that, but I think that it would show up somewhere in a.
Sure, the world itself just makes no fucking sense because it
but
just
it's
doesn't.
fun.
It's fun.
But it's fun.
I just like I have problems with how she does her world building, which in like there is none. Like, do you believe that the Deathly Hallows were planned from the beginning? No.
No,
No.
God no.
Where do you think they got introduced? Like, where do you think she thought of the idea of them at?
In the middle of writing Half Blood Prince.
That's probably about right. She was like, "Ooh, there's this cool ring. Let's make that special."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Dumbledore's really powerful. Let's give him a super powerful wand. Harry's got this cloak. Let's make this important.
Because it's important throughout the entirety of the series
But I mean,
because
like-
Harry uses it a lot.
Yeah.
Historically
But it's not
important. it is the invisibility cloak.
If
not
it
a
was
invisibility
exactly,
cloak.
if it was the invisibility cloak, more people would question why the fuck Harry Potter has it.
Well, they don't know. Like everybody thinks it's a myth.
I have a problem with a translation from the books to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So like this whole Priori Incantatum thing. I
Yeah.
can't remember how to
That's,
say
you
it.
said it in Priori Incantatum.
Incantatum. Whenever the wands basically
Connect.
plug into each other.
Yes.
In the
Giggity.
books, that happens like
One time.
once.
It's in the
one
graveyard.
time to Harry and Voldemort because their wands are brothers, essentially.
It happens
Yeah.
in the graveyard, and it's
In the
dozens.
movies,
It happens every time.
it happens every time anyone gets into a duel. They're like, ah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It's visually there to like I think,
Yeah.
signify like a duel going on.
Yeah.
That's
I like-
all it is. It's just a visual effect.
I understand.
I like the way they have started doing magic in the later movies. In Fantastic Beasts, they've made
Yeah.
it more like chaotic and like
like a gunfight.
yeah, it's
It
way
feels more
more
like a gunfight.
it's way more believable. I don't know, like cinematically pleasing. I guess I don't know.
I'm looking forward to like we don't have it on here, but I'm looking forward to how that interprets into the Hogwarts video game.
yeah,
That's. I'm
looks
excited
good.
for it. It looks very good.
But-
I will not pre-order it because I refuse to pre-order any game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it'll be good.
and then like
Almost GTA Hogwarts, kind of,
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
which I'm all for it. And then we can.
this is something you guys can't talk about, but I can.
What's that?
The last thing.
The fan fiction and
Yeah.
fans' ownership of a universe. Go for it.
Well, you guys talk about like you probably seen like the backlash and stuff of like, her tweets about
Oh yeah, I've
probably-
seen that.
and how fans are like, try to be like, look, you can, not like her as a person, but love the universe she created and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. It's a very similar thing that happened with like Lucas and Star Wars, where like people hated him because of like what he just like he destroyed.
People
with the-
get
I know it's toxic.
aggressive.
It's a toxic fandom thing stuff.
Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. Move on. You don't have to fucking spend your whole life trying to.
Yeah.
Tear it down.
But,
Yeah.
but part of fan ownership to me is like people writing fan fiction of like, interesting things that they think should have happened or could have happened in the universe or retelling of the universe through their mind, whatever.
Yeah.
And, it's, I know neither one of you've read fan fiction.
Nope.
But
I hear the word fan fiction and I think of people fucking.
that does happen a lot. I'll just be honest. There is a lot of erotic fan fiction. There's also a lot of like really sweet fan fiction. Like one I read, I don't know, a couple months ago. It was about Jenny and Teddy Little Lupin,
Yeah.
about like their relationship as like his like stepmother, godmother figure in his role. It was really sweet of like little scenes of them interacting throughout his life and like what it was like. They went and visited Tonks's grave on Mother's Day.
Well,
It was really-
you'll have to send that to me because if I ever feel like crying, I'll probably.
I cried. It was super fucking
It sounds
sad
really
and like
good.
yeah, it was really good. But stuff like that, like it also has like like if you like more of your favorite characters, you want more. Like I love Remus Lupin.
So you wanted more of
So
Remus.
well, it's not like I want more because I can go read it. Almost everyone has it. But a signifier of a good fan fiction to me is a well written.
Yeah.
Remus. Like if he's poorly written, I'm like,
I mean,
He turned into a werewolf. He
Yeah.
ate 14 people.
yeah.
I'll
That's my
mention this.
type.
Well, it's just like
That's what I
especially in
would
case
write.
she listens to this. But my sister used to write fan fiction, and she actually had a fairly large following on Pottermore, and because it was published on there.
Interesting.
And I mean, it was interesting.
I've read fan fiction since
She wrote it
Order of the
about
Phoenix.
a pirate that was a wizard.
That's cool.
That's an interesting take. Well, I mean, you
she's
do
just
have.
combining Pirates of the Caribbean
What
and
school
Harry Potter.
is Crumb from?
Durmstrang.
Durmstrang.
Yeah, they left on a pirate ship.
Yeah.
It's a ship, but I mean, it looked like a pirate ship to me whenever I
Yeah,
look
so
at it. So
like the whole, because the books, there was like some gaps in between the books that were kind of like longer. Like I needed that fucking injection of Harry Potter in my veins. So that's how I discovered fan fiction. Was just like, oh, I don't know.
just
I
looking
feel
up
like-
Harry Potter and it just
I feel like it would be cool to see the American school.
Ilvermorny.
Yeah. I feel like it would be cool to see that.
Well, we get some of that in Fantastic Beasts 3,
Yeah.
a little bit, but and then this is also fan fiction. Also, though, in itself is toxic because like then you get like
people are arguing about how this would
well,
never
no,
happen.
The shipping wars,
Oh yeah,
which is You got your,
That's terrible in every
that
fan
is,
base.
but you got like your Harry, Ginny, and you got your Hermione, Ron, and then you got like, you know, the Harry, Hermione, and then you got like anybody with Draco, because, you know, Draco's a hot fuck boy apparently in fan fiction. It's really weird. It's really weird, especially.
It's because people are horny fucks and they like aggressive, mean people for some reason.
That never even crossed my mind.
Oh yeah, like Harry, Draco, Harry, or not Harry.
I feel
Draco,
like an
Ginny,
innocent
Draco,
little
Hermione.
child.
You also you get some weird shit like Severus and like a bunch of the kids. Like
No, all right.
Yeah.
We're calling it quits there. I finished the Pottermore quiz, all of Pottermore
Oh,
quiz.
yeah,
And I am 91% Gryffindor.
yeah.
I am 41% Ravenclaw and 40% Slytherin and 34% Hufflepuff. I'm okay with that. I wish I would have stayed Ravenclaw because I prefer that.
What did you say you were?
I don't remember. I remember I was split pretty evenly between Ravenclaw and Gryffindor,
And then yours was
and it was lower.
Slytherin. Heavily.
Slytherin on the full,
Heavily.
Hufflepuff on the other
Yeah.
one. Heavily.
It was very heavily, which is weird because I have absolutely no ambition in my life.
It's fair enough. So I guess that's it. We're going to wrap it up. And as always, you can find links to our Facebook page and Discord on anchor.fm/chaotically nerdy. We appreciate you listening. I know this is a longer episode, and we hope you join us for another one. We love you.